dance for joy or lust.
Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, a series where we look at practical and sensible cars which you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2017 Volvo V60 P3 SE Lux nav with the T4 engine and a manual gearbox. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the P3 version of the V60 was launched in 2010. Initially it complemented the existing V50, it was a little bit smaller, and the larger V70, also on the P3 chassis. But later on, the V50 was effectively replaced by this slightly larger car, but the boot capacities of this one and the V50 are actually quite similar. They're just over 400 litres. The P3 generation of V60 continued in 2018 when it was replaced by the current generation that is just going off sale, unfortunately, as Volvo are dropping all their estate models, which is most annoying. The engines available in one of these, when it was launched in 2010, were three 1.6 turbocharged units that were variations of the old Ford Zetec SE engine. First of all with 122 horsepower in the T2 model, then with 152 horsepower in the T3 model, then in the T4 model 178 horsepower. Above that there was a short-lived T5 model, a 2-litre turbo with 240 horsepower. Then above that the fire-breathing T6, which had a 6-cylinder turbo engine of 300 horsepower. And then right at the top of the range, which was introduced in 2015, was the Polestar model, which has an absolutely insane 345 horsepower. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. I've not finished with the petrols yet though, viewers. The car underwent a sort of facelift at the end of 2014, and in 2015 we got a whole new range of engines, principally based on the Volvo engine architecture VEA models like in this one. So the T2 was dropped, the T3 was replaced with a 1.5 3-cylinder and a 2-litre 4-cylinder. The 1.5 was the automatic and the 2-litre was the manual, generating 150 horsepower. Then there was this T4 model, which generated 187 horsepower, 2-litre both manual and auto. The T5 made a very, very sort of brief appearance towards the end of production of these cars, with 245 brake horsepower 2-litre model. Unfortunately, the 2.5 white block wasn't available at the time. The T6 was upgraded to, I think it was 310 horsepower, again with the 2-litre. And then we had the crazy Polestar from 2016 with 362 horsepower. So a very comfortable car to drive. Rather kind of inoffensive as opposed to sort of BMW. Very nice, but not the most engaging car I think I've ever driven. So let's have a look at this P3 V60 viewers. It's quite a high mileage one. It's done 153,000 miles. Not that you'd necessarily notice that by looking at it. It's had one owner from new, this car, supplied by Snow's Volvo, down in Southampton I think probably, or the one in Winchester. It's quite a nice looking car, particularly this facelifted model. One thing I would say, we're going to have to go in the boot. I don't really want to do this because the dealer plate is nice and secure at the moment. I don't really want to knock that out, but we'll go in. The boot's not massive, really. It's about the same size as, I don't know, an MG ZS that came out the same year as this. There we go. Oh, that's nice and secure there. Right, brilliant. So it's not that big. It's not even much bigger than the V40 that was in production at the same time as this. Obviously, you could go for the V90 that was available at the same time, or 2016 or before. You could go for the V60 that was definitely bigger than this. On the same platform, P3. Mats in there, and space saver spare, and a Volvo branded warning triangle. It's quite a big diameter spare, isn't it? Nice flat floor. Low blind, of course. Imagine you get a dog guard as well for one of these if you wanted to. Normal tailgate, not a power tailgate, but you don't need that, do you, really? Most people. Nice cream leather interior, viewers. Someone's got exquisite taste in my specified this. The one and only private owner. Gonna move these things out of the way, and we will get in the back. Admire the nice cream leather armrest. Okay, that'll have to do. And the cup holders. You're not allowed to, presumably, to have a tiled seat in here anymore, but we can put this headrest up, you fiddle around with it a bit, I'm sure. Don't really want to do that though. Oh, that's folding it, okay. Yeah, I imagine you could put that up if you mess around with it, but there's a button in here. Yeah, it's probably not a one-hand operation, is it? No, it's not. Oh well, never mind. There's a compartment in here as well for storing things. In fact, talking of things, let's move this thing over here. There we go. Isofix points, of course. It's a Volvo estate after all. Put my knees in here. There we go. Similar in headroom, of course, to the V60 that you'll be seeing on the channel at some point. Maybe you've already seen it. Not surprised, really. The V60 and this are very, very similar cars. Inflatable curtain airbags, of course. Got some door pockets in the back. Unfortunately, they're not big enough for my water bottle. Never mind. And some nice materials, actually. Very, very nice materials. Very, very comfortable seats. Really comfortable seats. As you'd expect, it's probably one of the reasons why the chap who owned this from new actually bought the car. We've got little vents in here as well. I just love this expansive cream leather. It is absolutely my taste, viewers. It's beautiful. Right, let's not get too excited, shall we? Let's go and take a seat in the front, where we find something else that is delightful about this car. Yes, it's a manual. Brilliant. T4 engine, manual gearbox, 6-speed, electric seats and cruise control and digital dash and all sorts of things. Excellent. 153,000 miles, barely run in. It's a Volvo after all. Put the key in there. We have an electronic handbrake, but, you know, everything's got that these days. Still got a floating centre console, but it's a bit wider than in my old S40. 12-volt sockets down here. You can slide that back and forth if you want. For this facelifted cars, this is slightly different from the earlier ones, although the screen still, to turn this on, it's a little bit small. Is that because I've got the door open, dears? Okay, better shut the door. Right. In this SE Lux nav model, we have digital display, which I'm sure is fine, I suppose. I wonder if we actually have like a remote control for this sat nav or something, like lurking somewhere, because often these did have that. Or is it just a question of pressing some buttons? Low battery charge. Okay, well, why don't we start her up, actually? We'll start her up, push the clutch and start her. I don't really want to get stuck here. There we go. There we are. Great. What's going on with this system then? We surely should have more than just a black screen in the car. That's odd, isn't it? Okay. Never mind, we'll continue. So there's a compartment down there. You've got USB and aux input. Excellent. I'm not sure we've got Android or Apple CarPlay at this stage though, which is a shame. A lot of cars by 2017 did have that. No sunroof, which is another shame, but we've got a nice soft touch dash and a nice steering wheel, which has worn the miles really well. Really well. We've got the same indicator and wiper stalks as in my Mark II S40. It's not a surprise really. Still saying I need to put my seatbelt on. Now, can we get around this by just sort of pressing some buttons, or actually do we need to do that? Gear shift. Why is that plus or minus gear shift? What about, oh, there's a temperature gauge just there. Yeah, I mean it's a manual, so if I put it in first, will it actually tell me? No. So what's that for then? Weird. Let's turn her off then for a second. So if we press this down, do we actually get to do things? No, we don't. So that screen comes on. I wonder what's going on with this car. It's very, very weird. Anyway, let's have a look in the glove box. Right, secret mission document test. Let's get this in here. Pen holders are plenty. Massive glove box actually. Door pins are very big. They're not the widest. It feels very kind of safe and cocooned in here. It's very, very nice overall. We've got nice feeling door handles, automatic lights, the boot release and the fuel cap release are there. There's where the electronic handbrake is. Right, I better get on with this fuse before we run out of battery charge. That's not going to be ideal, is it? Because this is a 2017 car, we've got Volvo's own engine here. It's nothing to do with Ford, it's nothing to do with the earlier generation of Volvo engines. It's a 2-litre VEA engine, 4 cylinders, with 187 horsepower. Very cramped in there though, there's not a lot of room to sort of work on it particularly. I can still see the gearbox though, maybe that's because it's a manual, I don't know. Yeah. Personally, I prefer the 5-cylinder white blocks that were available in some of these, although unfortunately the earlier T5s were also a 4-cylinder in this country, weren't the 5-cylinder. That engine was completely discontinued in 2016. It didn't appear in Volvos after that, which is a shame because I love the 5-cylinder white block engine. But there we go. This is what powers most of modern Volvos. Available in 1.5 and 2-litre capacities with a turbo. Yeah, not a huge amount more to say. I mean, it looks nice in this facelifted guys and this subtle colour and things. Right, let's go out for another spin, shall we, dudes? So all the traditional Volvo virtues in one of these, very safe, very refined, very comfortable. Not the biggest boot in its class, although if you want a bigger boot you can go for, I don't know, a V70 or a V90. Just not the most kind of dynamic car I've ever driven, but for a typical Volvo owner, unless you're looking at the T6 or the Polestar or something like that, then this is absolutely fine. Let's look now at some trim levels for the P3 V60. So the ES, the SE, the R design were the sort of standard ones, and then we have Business Edition and Business Edition Lux, and then a whole load of variants on the R design and SE Lux, the R design Lux, the R design Lux Nav, the R design Premium, the SE Lux, the SE Lux Nav like this one, the SE Lux Premium, the SE Nav, and the SE Premium. You get a cross-country variant of this car from sort of around the time of the Facelift, about 2015, which looked a bit more sort of, I don't know, off-roady. You can get all-wheel drive of one of these as well. The T6 model actually had that. I think some Polestar did as well. So, viewers, should you consider a P3 V60 for your hard-earned budget between £1,000 and £5,000? Well, I quite like this car. This one's on quite high mileage. Of course, you can get lower mileage ones from this, and you can get earlier ones from this. But this is a nice combination. I don't like this electronic handbrake, but I never do with any of these cars. So yeah, I've just realised we've got heated seats in here, which is nice. Although a lot of the buttons and things seem to be sort of contained in places where I don't necessarily want them, which is a bit of a shame. But never mind. As a member of the Volvo Owners Club, this does satisfy me quite well. I don't know how easy these VE engines are to work on, but I suppose we'll see in the future how they hold up. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for some more the reasonably priced motoring.